a guy called Jake is in prison. He gets out of prison. He goes to right an old wrong. Ray Liotta is the boss who wronged him. And then he starts talking to himself. And then he learns some stuff about chess. And then he discovers that you can be your own worst enemy, and that the last place that your enemy is hiding is the place that you would last look in, because that's the place that he is hiding in the enemy that is the person who is looking for you. And the only way to get smarter is to play a smarter opponent, apparently. And there's lots of quotes from Machiavelli and lots of stuff from Julius Caesar which suggests that Guy Ritchie, on his way to writing the script, passed a bookshelf with the Observer book of pithy but a bit rubbish quotes, and he took 4 of them out and wrote them down in order to show them to Madonna, to show them that he was actually very clever. And she said, "That's clever, Guy, put it in the movie." And then he did. And then he got some of his friends.
Kermode, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. I'm going to play you a clip because I just want to get it out of the way. This is a clip in which the central hero, Jake, and incidentally, I should read you this from Guy Ritchie's own statement about the film. He's called Jake Green, okay? The colour green is the central column of the spectrum, and the name Jake has all sorts of numerical values. The idea is that there's no such thing as an external enemy. That's quite a hard concept to get your head around. But the ultimate jailbreak and the radical actions one needs to undertake to liberate oneself from this jail is what this film is about.
Can we have the clip soon?
I think you better.
We've already saved your life once. The next time will not be for free. We shall assist you under 2 conditions. These conditions are not negotiable.
Oh, I'm being grafted.
Condition 1. We will bleed you dry.
Have to put on a better show before you bleed me dry, my friend.
You will give us every penny you have got.
This is a con.
It is only natural that you think that you are somehow being conned, but think a little harder, and you'll realize that this is not a trick. Now, condition 2. You will do as we tell you without argument. This includes answering any questions that are asked.
You don't have a lot of time. And in reality, you don't have a choice.
Now, that voice that was doing that is the voice of Jason Statham's inner conscience. And that voice...
Inner conscience?
Yeah, it talks to him a lot during the movie. And while the movie is going on, this voice keeps going, "The last place that you would look for your enemy is the head inside the foot of the colour green and the number 7, who is the chess player, who is the last player." And now, you start up now. And here's the thing, okay? Deep breath. I obviously laughed like a jackal when Swept Away effectively torched Guy Ritchie's career. Because, hey, I never liked Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. I never liked Snatch. There was something really funny about seeing him just foul up that badly. But only somebody of absolute inhumanity could find it in themselves in the end to laugh at something as desperately bad as Revolver. I mean, if I was a GP and somebody walked into my surgery and pitched Revolver, I would reach for the medicine cabinet. I would immediately prescribe, electroshock therapy and leeches. I would have men in white coats take them away. I would take away their shoe. I mean, it is the work of a very, very mad imagination that believes, A, no one else in the world saw The Usual Suspects or Twin Peaks or any other sort of slightly, arty crime thriller, that nobody else has ever read any books and that therefore has never ever come across any of these incredibly complicated quotations before, that nobody else has ever stumbled upon the concept that, you know what, in the end, the worst enemy that you could have could be you. Now, for the first 20 minutes, I just sat there thinking, oh, this is it. This is like, remember when Sham 69 made that concept album, That's Life? And it just reminded you how much you actually liked Borstal Breakout the first time round. What you didn't want was Jimmy Percy, who incidentally I met on the beach the other day. I was on a beach.
Not interested.
Okay, fine. Lovely bloke. You just think, I don't want Sham 69 doing a concept album. Well, at least Sham 69 were good in the beginning. Guy Ritchie was always rubbish. But the idea of Guy Ritchie, the guy whose entire career is built on making stupid, vacuous, flashy guns and geezers movie, coming on like some philosophy student and lecturing, and he keeps telling us how complicated the concept of this movie is. It's not complicated, Guy. And incidentally, I have been thinking about it since Monday, since you told me to do it. I thought it was imbecilic 5 minutes in. 5 minutes in, I knew exactly what was going on in the movie. And I was thinking, on the one hand, I'm really glad you haven't made Lock, Stock and Snatch again. But then suddenly you realise, no, but I realise what you have made, and actually now I wish you had made Lock, Stock and Snatch again, because at least they were just stupid and funny. I mean, it is like watching your worst nightmare happening on screen so badly that you actually think, I feel sorry for Guy Ritchie, because I can wake up tomorrow morning and think, I didn't make that film, but he has to wake up tomorrow morning and think, I made Revolver. He's going to walk down the street and it's going to be an advert for it on it, and he's going to think, I did that. It came out of my head. I went on national television and national news saying, it's a film about concepts. It's not a film about concepts. It is a film that has the mentality of a fourth former who has just finished reading the back page of the NME and has decided that, in fact, psychology is the future, and has gone away and written a film script. But rather than everyone doing what they should do, which is say, I'm sorry, come back when you are 30 years older and can actually string a sentence together, somebody's put it together. Ray Liotta stands there in leopard skin underpants, blathering this, literally leopard skin, blathering this, and you think, Ray, you've done some funny things in your career, but really, what have they got on you that you had to be in this? Jason Statham, who actually I think is a perfectly fine actor, just, it's like sandpaper rubbing on your ears. And I came out of the screening and there was a news crew standing outside asking people how bad it was, because by this point word had got out. And I had gone in thinking, look, everyone hated Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. It can't possibly be as bad as everyone says, because actually Twin Peaks was a really good movie. 20 minutes in, I thought, it's worse. 40 minutes in, I thought, I am really going to have to leap off the balcony to end the horror of this. By the end of the movie, I was there with David from this show, and we were literally in the brace position, like our heads between our knees, thinking, when is this going to stop? And then it stopped, and there were no credits, and that was the one laugh in the film.
However, Barry in Peterborough would like to say this. Hello, Barry.
Hiya, you all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, I loved it. I thought it was, I thought it was good as its own sort of movie. I didn't think of it in terms of a Guy Ritchie film, and I thought, it was a perfectly good film, seeing someone, getting into the psyche of, like getting in themselves. But I've got to agree with some of the statements that you came out with. I thought that was, they were pretty accurate.
So what was good about it, Barry?
Please tell me.
The one thing I really liked about it was the visuals, like when, the way that they have, like, there's like a triad gang or a Yakuza gang, and they're always like in the red light, and when you see, Ray Liotta meant to be scheming, he's always in like this blue light,
And the central character's name is Green, which, as Guy told us, is in the middle of the colour spectrum. Now, can we just have 10 seconds to get our heads round that concept, Guy?
So your gestation period, Barry, when you came out, you thought about it and you thought it was okay.
I thought, yeah. I mean, if it was,
you're a very brave man to come on the radio, sir, and say that.
I thought if I was going by for like 12 film or Empire standards, it's probably a 2-3-star film. Not that bad, but not brilliant.
Well, listen, I have to say, Barry, quite seriously, I would love to go and see it again with you, because at the moment, the horror of the memory is so awful in my head that to see it and to find something good in it would really make me sleep easier at night. I mean, I take no pleasure in saying this, but actually, I can't even laugh at Guy Ritchie. It's so bad, I just feel pity. I just feel like laughing at it is somehow just cheap and nasty. I mean, I know everyone's doing it, but it's just so rotten. So I think it's very good that maybe you can find anything good in it, and I'd love to know what, I'd love to share that.
Maybe Barry's just a more positive kind of a human being than you are.
Yeah, well, I thought, it just, as its own film, I know, there's quite a lot of Guy Ritchie bashing, but I think as its own film, it's not a bad little film. I mean, it's definitely like a nice 2-star, 3-star film.
And that's 2 stars out of
20.
Out of 5. Out of 5.
All right, Barry.
Barry, but seriously, Barry, thank you. I think the milk of human kindness flows through your veins, and I would love to have you as a friend.
Okay, well, maybe you should go see it again. Now, there's an enticing evening for you.
What, with credits? Honestly, I'm not exaggerating this. I was genuinely speechless. I came out and this news crew said, "Can you come out?" No, I was. I can't remember the last time I was speechless. The only thing I'd say about it is it's not as bad as Last Days. Last Days is still the worst film of the year. It is on a par with Sex Lives of the Potato Men, except that at least with Sex Lives of the Potato Men, you knew it was, there was nothing there at all from the beginning. But I actually went into Revolver thinking, hey, everyone's, kicking the hell out of it. Guess what? I bet this is the Guy Ritchie film I like. And I came out of it thinking, you poor thing, you poor wee thing, because it's come to this. It's come to numerical, Kabbalistic colour spectrum claptrap.
Steve in Sevenoaks, this is sacrilege. You will both burn in hell. How can anyone possibly think this is anything other than sublime? Without doubt, the finest example of its genre ever made. Everyone has their own favourite, often life-affirming moments. My own personal one is Ringo on Yellow Submarine. Maybe that's the key.
That's all right. Ringo and Yellow Submarine is perfectly fine, but of course that's to the left of the colour spectrum. That is the character that turned this. I mean, honestly, if you get a chance, just track down the Guy Ritchie interviews. At one point in which he describes the central character, he says, the central character is like the right turn that we take when we should have taken a left turn. And then when we get round the corner, we do the U-turn that makes us realise that the right turn was actually the thing that was left to us, but was right.
Alistair in Haywards Heath. Why is this man allowed to direct movies? Lock, Stock was rubbish and full of cockneys going, look at me, I can play cards and cook vegetables. Snatch was rubbish, and now by the sounds of it, Revolver is also a waste of time. Jay Statham should give up acting, he's rubbish.
He's not rubbish. I think he's all right. I mean, I actually quite like him.
And now I have lost my respect for Ray Liotta.
Yes, well, I think Ray Liotta's respect for Ray Liotta is probably taking quick notice.